Morning guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on getting started using a program that uses the container system. So these are just going to be some of my quick tips on getting you started so that you can start off successfully, because with these programs I would probably put more emphasis on the eating plan if you're first just starting out than the workouts. Not to discredit the workouts because they're just as important, but figuring out how to eat to fuel your body versus to eat socially or to eat out of habit is going to be really key for a lot of us. So I think that focusing on the meal plan is going to be key, and I hope that these steps can help you to get started right. So every program comes with the eating plan. This happens to be 21 Day Fix Extreme, but any program that uses the container system, so 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, Size, I think Max 30 uses the containers, Hammer and Chisel, those are all programs that use the container system, and they all come with an eating plan book. And in the book, there will be a quiz, what they call a quiz. It's within the first couple of pages, and it's so that you can figure out your target calorie bracket. I don't write in my books because I know that my brackets will change, but you are certainly more than welcome to. So basically you calculate your caloric baseline, then you calculate your caloric needs, and then your caloric target. And then from your target, it'll tell you how many containers of each that you need. It's with every program that uses the containers. So that will be your first step to determine what group you're in. And then it tells you how many containers of each food group you get a day. And each food group is color-coded. So then what you're going to want to do, so that's step one, figuring out how many containers of each food group you get a day. So step two is to get a notebook, and I happen to use my family planner here. This is what I use to keep my family organized. It has like a calendar and stuff that we write all of our appointments in, but it also has this pretty nifty place to track food and record dinners, make shopping lists, and that kind of thing. This is pretty cool, and this is what I use, but a notebook will work just fine. So basically what you're going to want to do, so step two, is you're going to want to write down how many containers of each food group that you get and what color container that is. So you're going to want to open up your containers here, and you're going to say green is vegetables, purple is fruit, yellow is carbs, red is protein, orange is seeds and dressings, and blue is healthy fats. And you're going to want to write that down somewhere where you're going to see it every single day until you get accustomed to what the containers represent. So step two is to write down what the containers represent and how many of each you get a day. Then the planning part comes, and I know that this takes a lot of time and it can be pretty frustrating and time consuming, but it's so important to do because it sets you up for success for the entire week. And honestly, you do it once a week and then you're done. I usually start to meal plan on Thursdays, and then on Sundays I write out everything that I'm going to eat for the week. And that is what works for me. So, let's see here. This is a good week to show you guys. So, I write down everything. I pre-track my snacks. I pre-track what I eat for breakfast and what I eat for lunch. And breakfast and lunch for me always stays the same. I alternate between eggs and Shakeology. Shakeology is usually for lunch and eggs are usually for breakfast, simply because that's what works for me, and that is easy for me to make happen. And I need to get my Shakeology in at some point in the day, and I prefer to have it as a meal versus a snack. So a lot of this is going to be what works for you. So what I do in my notebook is I have a space for my breakfast and my snack, my lunch and my snack, my dinner and my snack, and then I have a place to tally off my containers and what workouts I'm doing for the day. And then in this notebook, I have a place to plan my dinners with my shopping list. So that's an added bonus, and you can certainly set your notebook up like that as well. When I track my days, so for example, this particular Sunday, I had 2 eggs in a small wrap. And so that was 1 red, 1 yellow, and a half of a blue because I put cheese on it. So I make sure where I track my breakfast that I write 2 eggs in a wrap, and then I track the containers underneath so that I know it's backwards for you guys, but 2 eggs in a wrap, and then I track my containers right here. And so that's so that I can stay on track. And then I come over and I tally them off. So every single time I eat something, I check it off so that I can make sure I stay on track. And the other thing that I did is at the top here, I wrote how many of each container I get a day. So that's going to be important too, so that you can just have a quick reference to figure it out. So that's planning it out for the week. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me and let me know. But I do highly recommend a notebook. There is also a 21 Day Fix app that you can get on your phone. It's currently only available for iPhones right now, but it is called 21 Day Fix Tracker, I think. 21 Day Fix Tracker. It's by Beachbody. Currently, you can only track the 21 Day Fix workouts in there. They don't have 21 Day Fix Extreme yet, but you can manipulate the amount of containers that you get. So if you're doing Extreme, you can change the amount of containers you get per day in the app, which looks like this. I know it's hard to see because of the lighting, but it looks like that. And you can use this to track if you're more of an app person. But basically what it does, you don't track any food in it. You just track how many containers you've eaten throughout the day. So that's another option too. And the last thing I want to talk about, because I know this is getting long, is planning your meals. So if you're first starting out with a program that uses containers, my advice to you would be to stay simple. Stay simple with proteins, your starches, your carbs, and your vegetables, and know what counts as what. So in the book comes lists of what is a quote-unquote approved food. So here's the one for carbs and extreme. And it tells you a list of things that are approved. And I say approved like that because it's a guideline, and a lot of times if you, follow this, you're going to have great results. These are the best choices out there that you could possibly make for, for that color of container. So, like I was saying, stick to simple recipes, a protein, a starch, and a vegetable for dinners, Shakeology for breakfast or lunch, that kind of thing, because when you start to do casseroles and things like that, it gets a little bit complicated, and if you're a newbie at a container system, then it might be a little bit overwhelming. Once you get better at this and you've done a few rounds and you feel confident with it, by all means add those casseroles in and you can track it accordingly. But for people who are first starting out, I would definitely say start simple. Definitely if you're doing something like tacos, you can have all of the things that go into a taco, but you have, you count them separately before you put them all together. So you would count the tortillas as a yellow, and you would count the meat as a red, and the cheese as a blue, and that kind of thing. And then you would put it all together. The other thing that I cannot say enough about is the Fixate cookbook. And as you can see, I have it all tabbed up because I use it often. This thing is amazing because it really makes planning for 21 Day Fix and any kind of program that uses containers foolproof, because it gives you recipes and it breaks it down with the container breakdowns. So, for example, here's Mexican lettuce cups. It gives you the breakdowns and the serving size right here, all of the ingredients and the instructions. And then down here at the bottom, it gives you the calorie breakdown. So if you track in, say, 21 Day, or not 21 Day Fix, like MyFitnessPal, or if you use the Fitbit app to track your food, you can easily add in the calories and all the things you need to generate that in the app. But this has been a lifesaver. Let me know if you guys have any questions on this. And that will give you a good way to not have such basic meals all the time until you get accustomed to doing the container method. Like I said, I'm sorry this is so long, but like I said, this is so important to get you started correctly, and to make those good choices up front so that you can set yourself up for success. When I first started 21 Day Fix, I planned a month out. That took a lot of time. Now I only plan a week out. So you have to figure out what works for you, but you also just have to do it. Set some time aside in your busy week and sit down with your book. But also, they all come with recipes too, and they're pretty good recipes actually. There's dressings and things like that. Sit down with your book. Sit down with your notebook. If you have Fixate, sit down with that too. Plan your weeks out and you will have success. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.